On tonight's show, I'm excited because I hear Hollywood's come a-calling. I wonder who... Sorry? Oh.
Adventure, okay.
Oh, no way! Let's have the show then! And in return, we've got a great show for you tonight. But before we do another thing, I think we'd all like to say a big happy birthday to Her Majesty. 90 years old yesterday. Happy birthday to her. Round of applause for the Queen. Yes. Very nice. Queen, of course, very lucky. She's actually having two parties, one for the family and one for the commoners, or as they're also known, the Middletons. Yeah. I believe we've got a picture of the Queen cutting her surprise birthday cake. Ah, yeah. Camilla was in charge of the surprise bit. Yeah. Let's get some guests on! Later, we have music from DNCE. But first, he's the star of the biggest TV hit of recent years, with 15 million people watching the final of the Great British Bake Off. Please welcome Master Baker Extraordinaire, Paul Hollywood, everybody! Oh, so suave! Hello, sir. Very nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Have a seat, you. There's your wine. From Downton Abbey to War and Peace and her standout performance as Cinderella, she's one of the brightest young stars in Britain, now taken to the West End stage as Shakespeare's Juliet. It's Lily James, everybody! Oh! Hello! How are you?
So nice to see you.
Welcome to the show. Thank you. Paul, Lily? Since his bloody end as Robb Stark in Game of Thrones, he's played Prince Charming to Lily's Cinderella and now Romeo to her Juliet. Please welcome Mr. Richard Madden! Oh, hey! And this lady is an actress, a writer, a style icon, and a legendary dynasty diva. It's a pleasure to welcome back to the show Dame Joan Collins, everybody! Oh!
I'm great.
So nice to see you. That is a stylish, beautiful sofa right there.
Yes.
Oh, the
All
glamour.
black.
Yes, and it's very stylish.
Yeah, black is the new orange.
Is it? Not on this set. Very nice to see you all. Welcome back. The first time for Lily and Richard, so thank you very much. And, of course, now I get to say Dame Joan Collins.
I know, isn't it amazing?
But it's so new and it sounds so right.
Well, it's so amazing to hear it from you because I've just come back from America and Australia and Peru, where nobody knows what that means, Dame Joan. So I'm just Joan or Miss Collins.
Don't you insist?
No, a certain actor that we all know.
But it must have been a lovely day.
It was fantastic. Honestly, Graham, it was like the greatest day of my life. Really extraordinary because, first of all, to receive it is a great honour. And Prince Charles came and pinned it on me and said very nicely, I thought, about time too, which I thought was just stunning. And then I had a wonderful party that night at Claridge's with 120 of my closest friends. My sister had flown in, and my brother and all my friends and my children. It was wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, what a lovely, lovely thing. Honestly, I'm so pleased for you. Congratulations. It's very nice. Now, here's the thing, because Lily and Richard, you're about to be Romeo and Juliet on the West End stage.
Yes.
But previously, Prince Charming and Cinderella in the big Disney live-action remake. And Lily James, as beautiful as you looked as Cinderella, well, as beautiful as you are,
Yes.
but in Cinderella,
Gorgeous.
the corsets in Cinderella, like, that must be properly painful, because that isn't your shape.
Well, it's drawn in with...
Yes.
Very tightly.
Your shape is close to it.
Yeah, but you're very slim, so...
Yeah, very slim.
Yeah.
But what happens when you try to eat with that on?
Well, I mean, I drank a lot of... Because it's long, long hours, I was trying to keep myself awake. I drank quite a lot of Coke, and so... I was burping a lot in the corset, wasn't I?
Yeah, but you learned your lesson the hard way after the first couple of night shoots we did.
Yeah.
Where you would over-eagerly eat, and then, like, it was shut down the set for a while Lily's like, oh, God, get it off.
Really
because the food's like here, and it just can't go down.
You just really loosen it at lunch, because he's the one that has to bear the brunt of, you know...
I thought you looked fantastic.
But your dress was constraining, but oddly, Prince Charming's costume was quite constraining as well, wasn't
You
it?
look good, too.
Thanks. Yeah, it was very constraining in ways I'd not imagined.
Because it's kind of a it was a Disney thing, wasn't it?
It was a Disney thing, and it's kind of... here we go. It's Disney, and I'm in skin-tight, quite thin white trousers, or maybe some people would say leggings. I don't like to use that word. And they can be very revealing. So we've spent a couple of days trying out different... trying out different jock straps. I feel just so dirty even saying the story. And a couple of days trying out these, and then once standing with, it's Kenneth Branagh and Sandy Powell, this Oscar-winning costume designer, and trying on these things, and everyone's just kind of looking at you to see what they can and can't see under the lights. and then we tried out the latest one, which was just basically a corset for men. It was really, really tight, and we tried it, and they're going, yes, oh, this works, great, and chatting amongst themselves, and then they turned away, and then Sandy turned to me, and I was like, tears welling in my eyes. I'm going to be sick from this. And I had to run in and take it off, and that one didn't get used.
No, but in the publicity, like, is Lily's hand there?
Strategically, yeah.
In all the shots, there seems to be... You're like a pregnant woman in something, there's always something covering your crotch.
It's not an arm, it's a dress or something.
There was enough dress tied, anyway.
But I did an episode of Batman once, and Adam West, who played Batman, told me that they had to take certain pills because they were wearing these tight Batman costumes, and because this was the 60s, you couldn't see an outline of a gentleman's gentleman.
So what were these... what were these pills of which you speak? No, I don't want them.
Yeah, well, he said it, and he wrote a book, and he said it in that, and they had these really tight things on, because if you look at old episodes of Batman, you can see that they're just sort of flat.
Yes.
Oh, terrible.
That's awful.
I don't know. I wouldn't know myself.
No, that's terrible. But actually, in terms of suffering for your art, Paul, I didn't realise you had terrible problems with your...
It's getting long. I better have another glass of wine.
Yeast-based problems. No, it was your wrist. It still sounds wrong, but it was... No, but from making bread for all those years.
I've got carpal tunnel syndrome in both of my wrists.
Oh.
And it's really serious.
Severe, yeah. It was diagnosed about 4 years ago, so I went to speak to consultants about it. He said, listen, you're going to have an operation. And I don't actually bake as much, hands-on as I used to now.
Don't need to now. I miss it. Somebody else make it.
But now I've sort of stopped baking as much as it's actually alleviated a lot of the pain.
Oh, so it's coming back?
It's all right now. It's okay. I did speak to Mary about it. She goes, oh, I had it done. And Mary's had it done too. Mary had it done a few years ago. And it's healed quite nicely. It just petrifies me, the idea of slicing the band. So because I race cars at the moment, so at the moment it's really difficult. I'd rather not do it at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it a thing? Because obviously, there's things like housemaid's knee and... No, there is.
Tennis elbow,
tennis elbow.
writers at will.
And it's kind of like a master baker's wrist. I asked you this. Dame Joan Collins, I can't say it enough. Dame Joan Collins.
I love it. Thank you.
Not content with becoming a dame, you have now published your latest novel. But I noticed you're just Joan Collins on the cover.
Well, yes. As a professional, you don't use the dame ever.
Okay.
No.
So, the Saint-Tropez Lonely Hearts Club, and it's a proper page-turner. It really is.
It is. It's a good beach read.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And talk about, write about what you know. I mean, this is a world, Saint-Tropez is a world you know incredibly well.
Absolutely. I go there every year. I've been going there for, oh my God, 30 years. And the people are fascinating. The people who live there, the people who come in there, and there's all kinds of intrigues and scandals and sexual innuendos. So I wrote about it.
And it's changed a lot, Saint-Tropez.
No, there was always scandals and innuendos, sexual. Yes, it has changed a lot. It's become much more touristy in July and August, and I write about that as well. But it's still there's a little sort of central group that are there, and from mid-July to the end of August, Russian oligarchs and really rich Swedish businessmen and English businessmen, and they have all these unbelievable parties where there's so much excess and champagne is sprayed all over, and half-naked girls go naked girls actually. Well, I don't do that a lot.
And very sweetly, you dedicate the book to your sister, Jackie.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was very nice of you.
Yeah, we were here New Year's Eve.
I know.
A year and a half ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
In retrospect, do you now kind of understand, or I don't get why she kept it so private and secret?
Absolutely. I think she was very, very brave to do that. I think if you're a celebrity in Hollywood, which she was, if there's the slightest hint that there's anything wrong with you, you will be hounded by TMZ, which is a gossip program, and the National Enquirer, and they will all start hinting that you're ill. They're doing it to various celebrities now. I mean, people like, yeah, they're saying, you know, share, a year to live. I mean, it's completely wrong, and Jackie didn't want that. Jackie wanted to keep herself totally private, because she was a very private person, actually, in spite of what she wrote.
But no, lots of the characters in this book, some of them are quite wild.
Yes.
Is it Fabrizio?
Fabrizio Bricconi, yes. I love him.
Now, he's quite... You do quite a full description of him.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a rascal, but he's a lovable rascal.
Could you read a little bit of... He describes himself
Yes.
in the book.
OK.
Can you read a little bit?
Well, why not?
Yes, you wrote it.
All right, I wrote it. OK, so it actually starts with prologue. Lying face down in a pool, August. How has it come to this? Me, the stud of Saint-Tropez. 29 years old, handsome, devilishly amusing, big, censored. Every woman in Saint-Tropez gladly accepting my advances. Well, not every woman, but I am seldom turned down. Think of an Italian Brad Pitt crossed with the brooding Latin sex appeal of a Benicio del Toro, and that's me, the ultimate censored machine.
Richard Madden's reading over your shoulder.
Constantly censored. My body a factory of raging hormones. I don't like to boast. Well, actually, I do. I would have thought Joan Collins fans would be, you know, quite broad-minded. I think they are.
But apparently you have had some, not complaints, but so, you know, people have thought it is quite racy.
Yes, I know. A lot of people have, well, not a lot, a couple, have asked me why I put in so many sex scenes. And I said, well, that, you know, having not read Grey is the New Black, what's it called?
Yeah, 50 Shades.
Yeah, 50 Shades Grey. My sister told me not to read it. But anyway, she told me about it. So I figured that, you know, that's what people do.
I have read it.
Yeah, and...
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be nasty about something.
No, all right. Leave that to me.
Have you read it?
I read most of the first book, yeah.
And?
I remember reading it on the tube and looking around, and there was a lot of other women reading it too, and I suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. I was like, oh, we're all living out some fantasy here.
How do you feel if you're a guy sitting on the tube
reading it?
Why were you reading it, Richard?
I wanted to, just because I wanted to know, just get some ideas. Let's not fight again.
Did you test for the role?
No, I didn't test for the role, no.
Because you would have been good.
He would have.
Yeah.
No, I didn't test for the role.
Jamie's marvellous.
He's marvellous. He is
Okay.
marvellous. I've not seen the film. I wanted to know what it was all about.
Okay.
So I found out.
Yeah, it's such a huge thing. It's kind of nice to be a part of.
Really?
I'd never read an erotic novel.
You sound like a deprived child. I had never read an erotic novel. And here's the thing. You would think the world of baking would be such a refined, lovely world. But apparently when you do your live shows, Paul, all hell breaks loose. I mean, it's like a hen night or something. I mean, really, it's like the Chippendales with crusts. There's a review in one of the papers, and this person is writing, says, oh, when he fashions a bit of dough into anything remotely phallic-shaped, and tragically, many loaves are, the crowd go crazy. After mopping his face with a purple towel, odd choice, he tried to explain how to decorate a Black Forest gatto. You just spread the cream, he begins. All over me boobs, shouted someone behind me. Does that happen a lot?
Yes, it does.
It's not quite like that. I mean, I did 2 30-day tours a couple of years ago, and travelling all over the UK, and it was just it was great fun. I had people who come to see me before the show, and initially it was just to come and say hello, have some photographs, but slowly over the tour, people started bringing me bakes, the cakes, the biscuits, and by the time we were 10 theatres in, there was literally 300-400 cakes arriving, and the problem is, you've got to try a little bit, because otherwise they get upset. Some people queuing up for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to see it. When it comes to you, you're going, no more, no more.
Can I ask you, did you eat all these cakes that people get? Did you try each one?
I did. I had a little bit of a spittoon as well. Well, I've been back.
A friend of mine's a singer, and people send him cakes and stuff all the time. Yeah. And he used to do that until he ate into a cupcake, and it was full of the girl's hair, because she wanted to be inside.
That would put you off. Yeah. Actually, talking of fans, how excited will fans be? Because Dame Joan Collins, you are back on the road. You are starting a new UK stage tour. Now, people have seen you before.
Yes.
They should know that this is a totally different show.
Yeah, this is called Joan Collins Unscripted, which means that it's going to be totally like Now We Are. There'll be lots of clips from Dynasty and other movies that I've done, but basically it's going to be me on the stage with Percy, my husband, asking questions, taking questions from the audience. We're writing it now. There will be some scripted things, but basically it's just going to be free and easy, and I'm going to make a few jokes and do a few things like that, because I've been doing it for 10 years.
And in your last story, you told a story, because you always imagine that your life is just glamour, glamour, glamour. But sometimes work does get in the way. In your last tour, you told a story about Frank Sinatra.
Oh, Frank. Yes. Oh, Frank.
I love that people can say Frank.
I'm so jealous.
But just remember, I went to Hollywood when I was 20, at the end of the golden age, when, you know, the guilt was beginning to turn. So I met everybody. I met Humphrey Bogart and Lana Turner and Hedy Lamarr and Frank Sinatra, and, you know, it was amazing. So about 10 years later, 8 years later, I'm doing this movie called The Road to Hong Kong with two more legends, Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. And we had three people who were coming on, the Rat Pack. It was Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, and Frank Sinatra. And we had a scene together. It was the most ridiculous film. I was sent off into space, and... yeah. One of those, yeah.
A classic.
It's called The Road to Hong Kong, but it ended up The Road to Space. So I'm in space, in a sort of space outfit, and two spacemen are there, either side of me. One is Dean Martin, the other one is Frank Sinatra, and they both are fighting over me and trying to kiss me, and it was, you know, really great. And I mean, you know, I was still pretty starstruck then. And so I'm living at home with my mother and father, and the next day in the morning, the phone rings, and Mummy comes in and she says, "It's Frank Sinatra on the phone with you." I said, "Frank Sinatra, hey?" So I said, "Oh, hi." And he said, "Hi, it's Frank." He said, "How would you like to have dinner with me?" And I said, "Oh, well, that would be very nice, yes." He said, "Tomorrow." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'll send my plane for you." I said, "Your plane? Where are you?" He said, "Hamburg." I said, "Hamburg?" I said, "I can't possibly go to Hamburg. I mean, I've got an early call tomorrow." He said, "I'll change your call, honey."
Wow.
I said, "Well, you can't do that. I mean, I'm a serious actress. You can't change my call just because you want to have that." And he hung up. And that was it. He never asked me again, but I hear he asked Linda Evans, and she went.
Now, Paul Hollywood, you've got a new TV project now. This is called Paul Hollywood's City Bakes. It's on the Food Network, Mondays at 9 p.m. Now, is this one of the things where the Food Network came to you and said, "You can do anything you like, what would you like to do?" It is just an amazing jolly.
It is. I mean, they approached me, and the idea was that the programme's going to go global, so it's going to go to the States, South America, Russia, Asia, Australia, South Africa, and they offered me this platform to produce, you know, to get a programme.
Yeah.
And I said, absolutely. So the idea is we travelled around 10 cities around the world, and looking for people, you know, passionate bakers to look at the quintessential classical bakes from that city. So we started in Miami.
Home of baking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Miami, baking. I always, I mean, that's...
So we popped over to Jamaica. We came to
Saint-Tropez.
We literally travelled all through Europe, Scandinavia, and ended up at St. Petersburg. And one of the last shots was, I remember I was in the stagecoach, and at the back of the stage, minus 25, and snow everywhere. And we were at the Summer Palace, Catherine's Palace. And I was sitting in the back of this horse-drawn car with a blanket over me. I was freezing to death. And they got some beautiful shots, you know, going through. And then just seeing this palace, I went, how lucky am I? I mean, it was me following my baking passion and meeting people who are exactly the same as me, passionate about baking. And often we had problems with language.
Yes.
But stick me in the bakery and show me what to do, and I was off.
Actually, Lily, did you film there in one piece?
I did. I filmed at Catherine's Palace, yeah.
It's amazing.
Incredible.
Was that in the summer or the winter?
We were there in the winter.
Oh, wow.
It's covered in snow, like horse-drawn carts.
Yeah.
And I danced in the main ballroom. It was...
Wow.
It was breathtaking.
Well, listen, we've got a clip of you. This is you on your visit to St. Petersburg, discovering a local ingredient.
Back home, I normally make a pie using short crust or hot water crust pastry. But here, the pies are much more elaborate. They add yeast. So it's a cross between a pastry and a dough. It's then sweetened and layered with butter.
Welcome to my kitchen.
What a fantastic place.
Yes.
Master baker Alexander Vassiliev finishes off the mix with a typically Russian touch.
Vodka.
Yes, vodka. Look, Russian vodka, Russian original vodka.
That's an excuse to have one of these in a bakery.
because Paul's no fool. There's an accompanying book it's called The Weekend Baker. That's out on May 19th, and that's a collection of the recipes you...
And I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to have a book to back up the series. The amount of people that are saying, where are the recipes? Where are we going to find the recipes? And they do go on a website, but the book is a natural next step.
Yes, and much
Mary
more
wouldn't
lucrative.
forgive me.
Is Hollywood your real name?
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean,
That's amazing. I never heard of anybody called Hollywood.
Well, actually, what was hilarious, I remember I was patenting my name years ago. You know, to cover your name. And the legal lawyer in London sent out this to the company saying, Paul Hollywood wants to patent this. Huge amounts of people from California came back, so you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. So my lawyer, who'd recently sort of taken Coca-Cola to go and won, then sent a letter back saying his family name goes back over 600 years. If you can prove that Hollywood's been around before then, he will back down. Otherwise, he will sue you for using his name on the north side of the mountain. They dropped everything.
That's incredible.
Now, Series 7 of Bake Off, you're filming that at the moment.
We are.
And are you in the same place?
We
or
are
have you
in
moved the tent?
Same place.
And where are you in the process? Are you about halfway? Are you just beginning?
3 in.
Three in. Okay. And when you started, yourself and Mary, I mean, I read somewhere where you took it incredibly seriously. Was it Series 1 where you had a fight about the semi-finals?
Oh.
Like, how many hours did that last for?
We were 5 hours arguing.
It's a bit of cake. No, you love it. Don't you love each other?
No, we do. I mean, I gave her a recipe, actually, last weekend. I was just trying out a new recipe I had, and she decided to make it this week. And I only got a text this afternoon. It's marvellous. It's a great recipe. I think she's going to bring it to set tomorrow.
Well, that's a great impression. You should really show that.
But no, we do get on. We get on really well. In fact, when we were filming last year, Downton, what we tried to do, because Mary wanted to go and visit the set of Downton, and you guys were just down the road from where we were.
Oh,
so we were going to try and bring all the Bake Off people over and then do a swap. That would be fascinating.
But you think that Mary butter wouldn't melt, but she has been a vandal, quite an bad vandal.
Listen, I got her arrested.
Bad.
I actually got her arrested. What it was, we were doing. You don't know. What happened was we were at the Birmingham NEC. We just finished doing a demo, and I was staying on to do a book signing. Now Mary left, and she walked past my car. I then
which is a very posh car.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Yeah.
And so she came out, left, as she did. I came out with the security, and he said, "Oh, have you seen what's on your car?" And I went, "What do you mean, what's on my car?" Go and have a look at your car. And on the sill of the window, she'd signed "Love Mary" with a Sharpie.
There it is.
Well, you can see. The police officer who was with me turned around and said, "Do you want to arrest her for criminal damage?" I went, "Absolutely." I said, "Can we leave it 12 months, please?" So the following year, we were at the NEC, and I saw the same police officer, and I said, "Listen, we're going on stage in a minute. If you'd like to come on and arrest her, I think you'd better bring 4 lads. She might get a bit feisty." So I went on stage, and I said, and then the police officers came in, and they actually handcuffed her and marched her off the stage. I said, "Give it 5 minutes and let her back in." She came in with a bag and then smacked me around.
Now, here's the odd thing. The most controversial thing about Bake Off was nothing to do with baking. It was the squirrel nut scandal. You don't watch the show. So if this is what caused the biggest...
This is Christian Grey.
Yeah, this really caused the big scandal. So it's just a clip of Bake Off. You know, they're doing those establishing shots. So you see the tent, the house. Here's the squirrel now. Check that out! Oh, no, go back to the thing. Go back. Look at him! I mean, proportionally, that's extraordinary.
Mary just
It's half his body.
I want to tuck in your wire a bit because it's sticking out, but I don't want to.
It's okay.
There we go.
Okay.
I mean,
You just wanted to touch Joan Collins. Stop it.
Sorry.
Don't touch the other guests. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what could be sexier than Richard Madden and Lily James together again as the star-crossed lovers in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet? Now, this is part of Kenneth Branagh's season at the Garrick, and they've put together some little taste of what it might be like.
I work with them.
Do you know what? Can I just... Do you know the narrator, obviously, Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah.
It just reminds me of Walking with Dinosaurs.
Charming. Wow, way to make friends, Paul. Now, I don't mean to worry, Richard and Lee, but just to let you know, it starts at the Garrick on the 12th of May.
Don't.
No.
Yeah, quite soon.
So soon.
Yes.
Really
very-
Next week.
No, yeah, well, nearly.
Yeah.
How long for?
Till the 13th of August.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to come
Oh,
and see
please.
it.
And if you want to watch it live, you could in cinemas on the 7th of July.
Ah,
At
well,
Picture
I'll be
House.
central.
That's all the dates.
They record it and then they get out.
And now, the promotional material does make it look like it's quite raunchy. Ooh, is that what it's going to be like?
I mean, it's horny teenagers, really. If we're really
Yes.
difficult.
Oh, God. I'm
Obviously much deeper.
reading the articles tomorrow. Horny teenager. There's not...
Does it contain nudity? Does it contain nudity?
We couldn't be telling you
No,
that, could we?
I mean, we
Oh,
don't
well,
know.
Well, she just did.
No, I mean, I was agreeing with you. I was saying, no, we can't be telling them that.
We're only halfway through rehearsals, so there's still a lot
You've
changing.
still got your pants on?
I've still got my pants on.
No corsets, no
No
things.
corsets, no other corsets.
Don't you find it difficult to learn Shakespeare?
Yes, but when you're working with Kenneth Branagh,
Yeah.
and he's amazing and encouraging and
He is.
inspiring, and also runs a tight ship.
We had to learn all our lines before day one.
Well, day one, we had to be
How
off.
boring is
Oh,
that?
my God, that's terrifying.
On day one, we came in and had a day of things.
No, to learn it, everybody.
When you learn the whole of... You come in on the first day of rehearsal.
Oh, it's
you're off
eight
through it.
loaves.
And then on the Friday...
Oh, every page, more Juliet. Oh, she's in this bit as well. She's talking for half a page. No one else is talking.
How do you learn your lines? I mean, it's a staggering amount to learn.
Pure fear.
Really? I remember Mel was doing a play in Edinburgh, and she was doing Shakespeare, and she asked me to practice with her on her lines, and it was hilarious. Every lunchtime we'd be practicing while Bake Off was on, and she's learning like sheets and shit. It just staggers me how you learn so much. Do you have prompts anywhere, or is it if you
You have
if you get
written on it all the furniture. Miranda used to do that, isn't it? That's what, you know.
And do you find, does it stay in your head after? Like, so if I talked to you in a year, would you remember it, or is it all gone?
Do you know
Goes.
what I find? It goes, but more annoyingly is it's in your head all the time. So then you go home and go, you know, well, now have a glass of wine. Stop it, Richard. It's not how you really speak.
Hey, very quickly, Richard, we must mention your new film, Bastille Day. It opens today all over the country, and it's you and Idris Elba. And look at you, you're wearing modern clothes.
I know. That was new.
Yeah, it's like Richard Madden nowadays. That must have been really nice.
It was brilliant. I mean, apart from the fact that like my call is 45 minutes less in the morning because I don't have to get like 3 layers of fur and armour on. But also it was nice and clean because in Game of Thrones I'd come back every season going, oh, the costume team is so brilliant. They make it look filthy and it stinks and it's really crusty and they've just not washed it for 3 years, have they?
And what's it about, Bastille Day?
Bastille Day is about Idris Elba as a kind of tough CIA agent, and we're in Paris, and I'm a kind of pickpocket street rat living there, and I steal something I shouldn't, and it has a horrible consequence. And then Idris and I are on the hunt of the bad guys and to work out the situation. It's a kind of thriller, and it's a really good evening at the cinema. And me and Idris had a great laugh doing it. So if you get a chance, have a watch. It comes
Well,
out
we'll
today.
see it. I saw some ads. I thought I want to see that. I love thrillers. I love watching movies more than I like watching television. So, sorry.
Charming.
I watch movies on I watch you.
Yeah,
I watch you
yeah,
in
yeah.
America, darling. Everybody loves you there.
Now, here's the thing. Richard and Lily, you're obviously rehearsing Romeo and Juliet. You've learnt your lines. But no, don't worry. I'm not going to make you do Shakespeare. But just to test out the kind of the chemistry between you, what we did, we thought we'd try some lines from Bake Off, because Bake Off, there's an awful lot of lines. Now, we have tried these lines with actors before, but we wanted to see if they'd work in a sort of classical theatre setting. So I've got some lines. There's Richard's lines and there's Lily's. OK.
Thanks, great.
OK.
Thank
So
you.
it says Richard before the line he says. It says Lily before the line you say. I just wanted to be clear. Call me Kenneth Branagh.
This is a lot,
I think
isn't
you've
it?
given me Joan's book. All right, OK, sorry.
OK, here we go.
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Too late now.
Let me
OK.
have a little sip of it.
Yeah, have a bit of nerve pico.
This goes out after the watershed.
Yes, of course. But Bake Off doesn't. These are all genuine things.
Came out at 8 o'clock in the evening.
These are all genuine things. These are genuine things that were said on Bake Off. So can we have some Shakespearean type music and maybe a little lighting? And I believe it's just the first line, Richard. Off you go.
I want to get my spatula in there.
There's a lot of moisture in there. That's why it wets the finger.
Your crack is nice and moist.
Paul said that. Paul said that.
Oh, my God.
I trimmed it before I went in.
It's about half the size it was when it went in.
I've got the taste of nuts coming through.
Gosh, there's room for all sorts of things in there.
Oh, this is why. I mean, there is no such thing as too big, not in my world.
Beautifully done. Well done. Right, it's time for music. This new band, fronted by heartthrob Jonas, hit the ground running with their debut EP, Sway. And their new single is sure to be this year's sound of the summer. Performing Cake by the Ocean, it's DNCE!
Oh,
there
yes.
you go. Yeah,
That one.
be careful of the drinks.
Do you want some?
This is mine.
Oh, yeah, that's yours. Pre-ordered. Well done, you.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on that. That is Cake by the Ocean, and that is out now.
Yes,
is it
it's
not?
out.
Yes. And it's a huge hit all over the world, isn't it?
It's been doing pretty well.
Well, for the first, straight out of the gates with DNCE, you must be thrilled.
I'm very thrilled.
Yeah.
You know, inspired by his show, we're fine.
Yes, of course. Paul, when you do the summer special, that can be the theme song.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll use it.
I'm pitching it now. It's perfect.
But here's the thing, there's a Swedish connection to the title of the song.
Right, so there was a miscommunication. They confused the drink Sex on the Beach with Cake by the Ocean. And we wrote the song from there.
That sounds delicious, doesn't it? Cake by the Ocean.
It's a little messy, maybe a little salty as well.
It'd be a drizzle.
It would be a drizzle. Yeah, we've all done that. So listen, thanks for coming, and thanks for playing it all live, because I know it's a lot of extra work.
No, we prefer that. That's great.
Joe Jonas at DNCE. Very good. Okay. Before we leave you, we've just got time for a visit to the big red chair. Who's there, I wonder? Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi. Dress Up Friday. Now, do you have a job, or have you just applied for a job?
Oh, he's nice. Very nice.
I was at an interview today, actually.
Oh! How did it go? How did it go?
I think it went really well, so
Oh,
fingers
really?
crossed.
What sort of job was it?
Customer service manager position.
Oh, wow. What's your name, by the way?
Michael.
Michael. Lovely, Michael. Well, listen, good luck with the job. Do you have a job at the moment?
I do, yeah, so this could be awkward.
Wow. We really hope you get that new job now. Yeah, Monday at work. No, I was joking. All right, Michael, off you go with your story.
I moved to London about 3 years ago to start a new job, funnily enough. And I arrived on the Friday, I met the letting agent on the Friday, I met my new housemates on the Friday, we went out and partied, we had a great time. We partied on the Saturday, we partied Saturday night. I woke up on Sunday absolutely dying from travelling, new place, new people, and too much alcohol. I figured I'd be spending all day in bed. Woke up the following day, and I could not believe it. Seen the alarm clock, 9 o'clock. Alarm didn't go off. I thought, sugar, I better get to work, first day.
Yeah, that's what he thought.
So I sent my boss an email just saying, I'm really sorry, we had a power cut during the night, I'm on my way, I'm just going to freshen up and I'll be there as soon as possible. I got showered, put the new suit on, ran as fast as I could to this tube station, and at that point I realised, oh my God, it's still Sunday. And I sent an email to my boss.
That's quite a good story. That's a good story. Give him warm, Michael.
Yeah.
Give him warm. Well done. Well done, everyone. You guys can join us on the show and have a go in that red chair. You can contact us via our website at this very address. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. Please join me in saying a big thank you to my guests, Joe Jonas and DNCE, Paul Hollywood, Lily James, Richard Madden, and Dame Joan Collins. Join me next week with music from Birdie, Sherlock star Martin Freeman, Ant-Man Paul Rudd, and the hilarious Seth Rogen. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.